Hi, I'm Daithi Doolan, Sinn Féin Councillor for Ballyfermot.
I'm Fionnghuala O Reilly, Miss Universe Ireland 2019.
And I'm Derek Burke from DB Promotions.
Sky 175.
The G Request Show.
Tuesday at 6:30.
And thank you for tuning in every week on the show on Sky Channel 175. What are you all doing today? This is the General Question as always. Thank you to my viewers. But today we got some wonderful special people doing this on the show. Everyone show some love everyone, please! Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for coming on the show. How you all doing? All good?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Come on, everybody, come on. Thank you. Let's get to meet you, sir.
My name is Daithi Doolan. I'm a Sinn Féin City Councillor for Ballyfermot, Drimna, originally from Cork, and I also work in a community-based drug project in the south of the city. Delighted to be here with all you good people.
Whoa! Before we come to you, let's go to Derek. Okay. Let's get to meet you.
Hi, I'm Derek Burke. I'm the CEO of DB Promotions. We represent musicians and entertainers from Dublin and all over Ireland.
Wow! Thank you. Let's get to meet you.
Hi everyone, my name is Fionnghuala O Reilly and I am the 2019 Miss Universe Ireland.
Let's wait, so get to meet you guys. Thank you all so much for coming on the show, guys. Fionnghuala, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
How was that for you? How did you go?
I'm just so excited still. This is just my second week, so I'm having a delightful time, you know?
Very good. Amazing. Come on, show us a love, everybody. It's amazing. Let's get to know the man himself. Yeah. How you doing, sir? Thank you so much.
Good, delighted to be here. Not just with Miss Universe Ireland, but I predict soon to be Miss Universe full stop.
Yeah, please do, yeah.
That's what we're really here for today.
Oh, that's true. Anyway, we'll find out later on, see how that goes, you know. But thank you so much for coming on the show. So it's great to have you on the show. You are a councillor for Sinn Féin. Great work you guys are doing in terms of your party and yourself in person. You'll be more into looking into drugs area. How is that going right now?
Well, I've been involved in, I suppose, trying to deal with the cause and the consequences of Dublin's drugs crisis for over 25 years now.
Yeah.
Basically, just responded initially to the heroin problem that was in the 90s and involved in setting up community response to help support those people battling with addiction. And I work in a project in Ringsend that I was involved in setting up many years ago. But also we deal with the other related issues, particularly housing is a huge challenge in the city. So we're working, trying to develop social and affordable housing to combat the housing crisis that we're seeing slipping ever deeper into. And just this morning I was at a fantastic event in Ballyfermot run by a group called Home, which is a response to a number of suicides in Ballyfermot. Tragically, we've had over 25 suicides in the last 2 years in Ballyfermot. We're on just taking it lying down and licking our wounds. We've organised, we've responded, providing love, support to those families whose hearts are broken by the loss of their loved ones. So we had a fantastic, successful soccer tournament this morning. And then on September the 8th, we'll be having a Festival of Life to support the families in the area, to celebrate all that's good in life and to prevent suicides in our community.
Wow,
Yeah.
Come on. It's amazing. Let me talk to Fionnghuala a little bit more. So, what profession do you really into? Talk us through that before we talk about your success.
Sure. So my background is as an engineer. I work as a systems engineer and I work with NASA. I have been working as a coder, as a data scientist, and I am what is called a NASA data-naut, which is a really fun word I love to say. Yeah. It makes me sound like I'm an astronaut. Maybe one day, you never know.
You're getting there.
Yeah, I'm getting there one step at a time, one step at a time. And I'm the director of the NASA Space Up Challenge in Washington, D.C. I work remotely, but I organize a hackathon there. NASA has an international hackathon that they host every single year.
Wow.
And so I organize that every...
Show some wonderful amazing lady. Wow.
Thank you.
I love that. Every time we come on the show is when we talk about women on the show, is the way women, especially generation, are really pushing, want to get them, make something useful for themselves. It's just amazing. Thank you so much, and we're glad to have you on the show. Let's bring Derek in. Derek, how is the business going for you right now? Talk us through.
Brilliant. We started about a year ago, and
Yes.
it was very slow. We had one musician, and it's spiraling now. It's doing really well. We've got loads of super talented, young, up-and-coming musicians,
Very good.
bands, entertainers, and they're just going from strength to strength. They've launched EPs, they've launched singles, they've been doing gigs, you know, every couple of months in festivals. Yeah, we're delighted.
Very good, very good. Amazing. Come on, show us a love for that, Derek. Drug is a really, really big issue, and we've talked about this issue several times in here. Is this affecting only younger people or just everybody in general?
Well, there's nobody immune to drug addiction. There's nobody watching here tonight. There's no household in Ireland or anywhere that's immune to drug addiction. But the problems we find is in particularly working class communities and in the inner city or the outlying working class areas that people don't have access to help and support. So there's households across watching this here this evening who will be dealing with gambling, drugs, eating disorders, self-harm, but in a lot of places people just go, they get help and they move on. But we're finding it in the working class areas, people are dependent on public services, dependent on public health, they don't have the access to help and support. And that's where community projects like I'm involved, and that's where we step in to help. We open our doors and provide the help and support to those families, to family support, and to the individual. But the thing with drug addiction, it's not about the substance, it's about the causes of the problem and the consequence of the problem. Many families are dealing with heroin, tablets, alcohol, the drug shop, drugs and addiction. But also the whole issue is around drug debt, where there's violence involved in that. Families have been crushed by the level of drug debt that their children are bringing to the home, especially through weed. When people are smoking weed, and many people, the older generation, think it's harmless, they think it's okay, sure, it's only a bit of weed. It's not. It's detrimental to the young person's health and to the drug debt that's brought upon the family. And then the criminals involved in it visit your door and demanding the drug debt to be repaid. And that's a huge problem for us. We're working with the Gardaí and the families to try and combat that. But also it's about sending out a message. There is hope.
Yeah.
People can recover with the right love and support that we're trying to provide, and also tackling the consequences.
Very true.
And then the causes of drug addiction, the traumas that people feel they need to fill it, to sort out the trauma through drug addiction. And we're trying to create a difference for these people, and also bring services into communities to deal with this. That's the key.
Amazing. Come on, show us a lot to that. I'm so glad that we're talking about this issue, because sometimes it's not because working in TV and doing certain things, but these are things that affect our lives every day. It might not be you today, but it might be somebody that you know to tomorrow. So I'm glad that we're talking about this. Fionnghuala, I'll bring you back in as well. Before we talk to you, we're going to run into a quick break. When we come back, we just want to talk about how you get into that competition. All deal?
Sounds good.
Very good. Hey, stay tuned for more of this. We'll be right back. Come on, everybody. Woo!
Hi, I'm Daithi Doolan, Sinn Féin Councillor for Ballyfermot.
I'm Fionnghuala O Reilly, Miss Universe Ireland 2019.
And I'm Derek Burke from DB Promotions.
Sky 175.
The G Request Show.
Tuesday at 6:30.
Welcome back, everybody. Woo! Thank you. That's what we're talking about. Thank you so much. Right, that was a quick break. Now, Fionnghuala, back to yourself. Before we went on the breakdown, I was going to ask you, how did you get into the competition? Actually, what really inspires you to get into it?
The competition, I would say I'd seen what the girls before me had done. I'd seen the last two girls that had done so much with the platform. They really created some change in the local community, and I wanted to be able to bring all of the things that I was already doing to the forefront. I've been working the last couple years with women in STEMs, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, to encourage and empower girls, diversity in this industry, because simply there's just not enough of it. You know, growing up, I was one of few girls that looked like me in the classes and the courses that I was taking at university, for example.
Yeah.
I studied systems engineering at the George Washington University.
Oh my gosh, you have so much to tell us. Go on.
Yeah, no, but I just realized that there's a real practical need for diversity in the workplace in general, but also in industries that historically have been dominated by men. And so I wanted to be able to use the Miss Universe Ireland platform and the Miss Universe platform to really push for this in Ireland and internationally as well.
Wow. Just like when you get into the competition, when you meet other guests competing with you, everybody doing all different things, what's the challenge that kind of hits up there?
I mean, it really is just a mental game. I was competing against 28 other women, and you're doing it so far in advance. So I've been preparing for months and months and months, and as you get closer to the final though, the nerves really can start to set in, and so you want to make sure that you prepare to be nervous. You prepare for anything. I think that preparation breeds confidence, and so you just want to be confident on stage, and you want to show everyone exactly who you are. And so that's what I was doing to prepare for this competition in general.
Wow. It's so straightforward. It just tells you how much you put into it. And that's what we're talking about. You put the effort, you get a result. And this is one of the results we're talking about. Derek, come back to yourself. How are you managing artists right now? Like you mentioned, up-and-coming artists, the people you kind of work with. Do you also work with artists? Do you like to work with artists in terms of they would have to kind of get to a certain stage first before you look after them, or you can just pick them based on what you think they can really project down in the future?
Well, firstly, we'd have a lot of musicians and artists will contact us.
Yeah.
And I always say, well, send us an MP3 or send us a video. And if I like the music, then, I ask them, do you want radio play? Do you want me to get you a gig? Do you want to go on TV?
Good.
I ask them exactly what I want. And then we try and help them and, cultivate the best out of them. And, some musicians will just want us to promote their album. They might have a manager. Some will want us to do everything for them. But mainly we promote. If they have a new single, when it comes out, we promote it. We send it to radios, and we run
kind of media network and stuff.
We run the PR over the social media and try and maybe get them a radio interview, get them a gig, and that's
so to kind of put them in, going amazing. And how would you rate the music industry right now yourself? Do you think there is a lot of potential there?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I was saying to someone earlier on today, Dublin and Ireland is full of talented musicians. It's nearly saturated, which makes it really hard, to get, say, gig spots, get spots on radio, because, there's hundreds of musicians looking for the limelight.
Wow.
But it's great to have so many talented. I think it's because there's so many courses now in college for music, for theatre, for all that, so they're becoming more qualified.
That's very good.
And a lot of them actually produce their own music, which is brilliant.
That's amazing. That's where technology is
so
going.
they come to me and the music is all set. I just have to run the promotion.
Wow! Bring it back again there. So you coming from Sinn Féin, and I'm very happy to be saying it. Politically, I'm not, but I like to want to work with you guys and see what you guys are doing. So how is your party putting their project forward to make sure that tackling of these issues in terms of drugs, because earlier on backstage we did talk about the suicide issue going on, all of these things that are part of our everyday lives. How is your party putting forward agenda to help?
The biggest in Dublin, the biggest issues facing us is the housing crisis. It remains a crisis. I use that word very definitively. I was chair of the Dublin City Council Housing Committee, and we're putting effort and time and resources into campaigning for social and affordable housing, because we have 30,000 people on our social housing list in Dublin. Each of those families are families that need to be housed. People also need affordable housing and affordable rent. So we're developing new rental models in the city. I'm delighted to say that in St. Michael's and in Chicago we'll be developing 400 apartments with a new housing model, which will be cost rental, so you'll only be paying the cost of the build into the long term for families.
Very good. That's very good.
Also, obviously, Brexit, which will have a massive impact on Dublin. Don't underestimate the impact that will have from October the 31st. What we're trying to do is ensure that there's not a hard border on this island. We don't want any border on the island.
Very true.
What about the Irish border? The Irish border is the beach around the island of Ireland and the ocean. It's the British border. We don't want any border, but if there is to be a Brexit, it needs to be negotiated to ensure that it doesn't undermine the Good Friday Agreement, doesn't undermine the border or reignite conflict in the border. We've seen too much of that. We put too much work into it. So we would appeal to Leo Varadkar to stand firm, stand shoulder to shoulder with us and our EU allies to make sure there isn't a hard border, and to make sure that if there is a Brexit that is negotiated. We don't agree with Brexit. We think the North voted overwhelmingly to stay within the EU.
Yeah.
So we think that should be recognised. We think, of course, the best way to ensure that's sustainable is Irish unity.
True.
Peace and Irish unity, and to reflect the wishes of the people in the North. But all politics is local, so my job is to deliver for the good people in Ballyfermot, in Drimnagh where I live, in the Bluebell and in Walknasown. So on a day-to-day basis to meet the needs of that community and to work with those communities to ensure that they improve the quality of life for everybody living in that community.
Wow. You're saying all these things, and I know you're not just talking about them. The fact that you speak because you're working on it and you can see that there's change, even though it's not something that can be done straight away. It's a process.
It's about working with people
Exactly.
to identify the solutions and then to ensure that we work together to provide those solutions in our communities.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Now, Fionnghuala, I'll bring it back in the air. Now, since you won the Miss Universe Ireland, what are your tasks for you right now?
Well, I mean, there's a lot to do until the final, which is going to be either in December or January. We don't necessarily have a date yet.
Yes.
So Miss Universe still has to announce. But I mean, there's just so much to do. My platform, everything that I'd like to share, you know, I'm going around and making sure that my message, some of the things that I really want to say for the impact that I want to create for the local community is done, and so there's a lot of work to go into that. And then also just there's a lot of travel involved. There's a lot working with school children and things like that. And I mean, I'm just really excited about working with the Miss Universe Ireland team. They're just a fantastic bunch, and so I'm ready to get started.
Wow, come on, share some of And Derek, so how busy are you right now in terms of working with artists, studio promotion? How is that for you?
Very busy at the moment. One of our artists, Lloyd John, just launched his EP this weekend.
Okay.
So we're working the promotion of that. Also, we have a big gig down in Portlaoise in Cavanagh. It's a big music venue, and we're putting that on October the 18th, and that's for all the musicians we have in the local area.
Very good.
So that's what we're working on.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit some beautiful games coming up. So we're going to find out how that's going to happen. All right. Okay, stay tuned for more of this. We'll be right back after this. Come on, one more time. Hello, how you doing? Thank you for watching the Jero Quest Show. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and also on Instagram. For more behind the scene, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. And thank you for watching. See you soon. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. Yes, amazing, guys. Thank you so much. How come you have your part so quick? Yes.
Magic.
This is studio magic.
Thank you so much, guys. It's good to have you guys. And one of the things we do on the show is that we don't let our guests just walk home without not playing some bit of game, you know, get a bit of laugh off them after we've had a lot of good news, a lot of different positivity, and we like that, isn't it? Yeah? All right, so this is very standard questions. Don't be afraid. I'll try my best to keep things low, nice, and, you know, a little bit friendly. Okay. Now, my first game question would be, is St. Patrick's Irish or African or English? Yes, it's Irish, everybody. Come on, show some love, everybody. Come on. That's what we're talking about. Otherwise, I'll bring you out to come and start sitting down here and we do it the other way around, you know. Anyway, it's all good. So we're talking about that. Derek, can you talk us through about St. Patrick's? So I believe you know what that is all about.
St. Pat's.
Yeah.
Well, I support St. Patrick's. They're my local soccer team.
Oh,
St. Patrick's Athletic. They won last night, 2-1 against Sligo.
Oh,
So we were able to, because we do have this sport game we do every Monday, right? James is in the air, and we really support like the Premier League. I think it was yesterday or so, or today we're talking about the local league is something we want to kind of look into.
League of Ireland, St. Pat's are the local league, and one of the local legends. Ian Birmingham from Ballyfermot, from Cherry Orchard, was there today supporting the charity games. So it's great to see the support, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch, building communities. And they unveiled a mural in their ground in Richmond Park, an anti-racist mural done with the local youth project core in Inchicore. So it's fantastic to see that. So you go along the Friday night on St. Pat's and then do other work with them during the week and off the field as well, which is very important.
That's
you know.
good. Community. That's very good. Now, next one we're going to go through is Father Ted's. Father Ted now. I know you all know that one. Is Father Ted Irish, English, or maybe Caribbean? Irish, come on, show some love, everybody. How dare you guys know Father Ted? How best do you know him?
Love him.
Oh, love him. Yeah, great.
You never
show.
get bored of
No,
Father Ted.
no.
You watch the reruns week in, week
yeah.
out. I'm introducing my son, Paddy.
Yeah.
I introduced him to Father Ted during the week.
Did you?
Even though it's like 20 years ago, it's even
It's
funnier
still
now.
going.
And more real.
Yeah,
It's more
one of the
real.
best
Come on, show
series.
some
Yeah.
love, everybody. Just go all the things that we see every day. It's good to come back a bit more, talk about it, because those people who've done all of these things, there are people who took time to create what we are enjoying today, you know, so it's good to talk to them. Now, Fionnghuala, back to yourself now. Do you do modeling full-time, or you just kind of in between?
Well, I started modeling years ago in Milan, and that's when I was full-time. And I went back to school and I finished my engineering degree, and then I've been here and there doing a bunch of work since, but I'd say my focus has shifted towards engineering.
Very good. Come on, just everybody. Alright, just know there's something coming in. Okay, next one. Is potato an American, or is potato Africa, or maybe Irish? Potato.
Potatoes.
Potatoes. Oh.
I mean,
Oh yes, there we go. All right. Back there, anyway, I'm only messing. Anyway, well, thank you all so much. A wonderful audience in the studio. That's what we're talking about. Now, Derek, back to yourself. How often do you eat potatoes?
Every day.
there you go.
Last week, I think my mother had meat and potatoes and veg,
Very good.
and I said no to meat. I just wanted all the potatoes.
Very good.
Yeah, I think I had 4 or 5 or 6.
And back to yourself, Derek. Would you work with artists? Maybe they're doing R&B or tech music. What kind of artists do you specifically work with?
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, actually, when I started up May 12 months ago, I was working with a guy who does kind of Joe Dolan and that kind of country hits. But now I've grown, like we're working with 4 or 5 artists. I have a rap band from Portlaoise, the Kesher Brothers. I have an anti-folk.
Anti-folk artist.
Yeah,
what's anti-folk? I don't think I've heard of that before.
Folk, and he writes his own songs. He's really interesting.
Anti-folk, is that rock and roll?
No, it's just kind of version of folk.
Oh.
Yeah. And he's also been in the Vikings, actually.
Wow.
Now he has this long beard.
No way.
Come on.
Cool, very cool.
Okay, more questions to go. Next one, we're talking about Daniel Day-Lewis. Is that Irish or... Everything's all about Irish on this show.
Yeah.
I'm coming back after the show for you guys. Come on, show some love, everybody. Now, we're to wrap things up. I know I still have one more game there for you guys, but let's just talk about generally right now. In terms of the economy system in Ireland, Brexit on the other side, you know, Europe is all, everybody. What do you guys take out of your general thing right now?
I mean, with the economy, I think obviously we're through a horrific recession over several years, which hurt probably the most vulnerable communities and families. And I think there's a lot of talk about economic growth, which is hugely welcome, development, which is hugely welcome. We also need to remember that any economic growth needs to benefit everybody, and particularly those families and those communities. And we all know where they are, who didn't benefit during the last boom, who suffered during the times of austerity. And our job, I see, as showing leadership, is to work with these communities in ensuring that if there is any economic benefits to be had, that they are the people who need to benefit. I mean, many of your viewers this evening will be getting ready to go back to school. And for many families, that's great. But for others, it's an expensive time. What we'd be appealing for, we were campaigning today, in fact, across Dublin for, is to ensure that second education is truly free. Because many families, every time they have to put their hand in their pocket, they have to take it from somewhere else. So we'd make an appeal to the Department of Education to work with our proposals to ensure that secondary education is truly free for all families.
Have you any interest in going into politics sometimes in the future?
I mean, this guy makes it look so amazing. I don't know how I could follow up with that. No, I mean, I've never had any interest going into politics, but as much as I can, just to make an impact for social change in my local community, anything I can do in that regard, I absolutely will do.
What you're doing is absolutely political.
That's true.
Everything's political. The reason we get out of bed in the morning is political.
Yeah. Think, imagine that.
Yeah.
Derek, just before we go as well, what would you advise artists who are going into, music? What do they need to carry along with them?
Well, you need to have talent, I suppose, first.
Yes.
I would come across, unfortunately, some guys or girls who think they're good, but they're not so good. But I would recommend anyone to go to lessons. You know, if you want to take up the tin whistle, want to take up an instrument, want to take up singing, go to lessons. Do lessons first, seriously. Put the investment in because, you'll get the rewards from it eventually.
Very true,
You
very
know.
true. We have to wrap things up, but before we go, at their website or link, people can find you guys, yes?
Well, they can contact me. It's Daithi Doolan at dublincity.ie. If I can do any help or assistance to anybody watching here this evening, I'm more than willing to help work.
Please
with
do get in touch with them. Come on, show some love. Amazing. And also to our princess.
Queen, wait.
Oh,
Queen.
Queen. Okay, I rephrased that again. Okay, can we take that back again? Oh, good. Okay, to our queen, everybody.
Yes, no, you can follow my journey at Fionnghuala O Reilly on Instagram or at Miss Universe Ireland.
Come on, show some love, everybody.
It's not easy.
It's a hard job. So when I say clap, clap. Come on, let's do it one more time, everybody. Woo! Amazing.
Yeah, if there's any musicians or entertainers who want to get in touch with us, they can email me, derekburkepromotions@gmail.com, and we're across social media, DB Promotions.
Wow, come on, everybody. Thank you all so much. Give it up one more time for that, everybody. Woo! And also for Derek, everybody. And to our queen, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for following us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Make sure if you have anything you see on the show interesting, get in touch with us. For my team, everyone, thank you so much for making the show what it is today. It will come your way next time. Take care and God bless. I love you guys. Bye for now. Everybody, thank you. Does that make sense, guys? All good? So I'll introduce to this camera, yeah? Bye. Bye.
Well, everyone understood that.
Let's go make a show. And
Yeah, you can show them all.
It's on their turf, but it's mine, man.
By the way, guys.
Come with me.
Exactly, yeah. So all you need to do is just tell me if it's Irish or not, stuff like that. So understand? Okay, just kind of get.
Putting on a gig for them in cabinets.
Are you a musician yourself?
I actually used to play.
Oh, no, I got it. Trust me, I got this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
This is Fionnghuala O Reilly Miss Universe Ireland 2019. I am taking over the G Request show. He is gone. He is out of here. Here are my three lovely guests.
Delighted that you replaced him. How does it feel to be on the verge of conquering the universe?
I feel like $1,000,000. I'm excited to have you three here. Can you go down the line and introduce yourself?
I'm Daithi Doolan.
I'm Derek Burke.
I'm Sheeper Kildee.
Thanks for being my
Sky 175.
Sky 175.
2 faces, 30
Two
G
faces,
request.
30 G
Show some
request.